إن الدين عند الله الإسلام.
Faith in Allah.
For Allah's Lordship, which is the second aspect of our faith in Allah, and for Allah's names and attributes, which is the third, and for Allah's worship, which is the fourth and final. These three parts, they are the aspects, the three parts of Tawheed also. That is to unify Allah, monotheism. Monotheism in Islam is of three types: to have faith in Allah's Lordship, to have faith in His names and attributes, to have faith in His oneness in worship. And they are in this sequence in the first surah of Quran and in the final surah of Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the first surah, which is in our Quran, which we recite in every unit of our prayer, in every rak'ah of our prayer, which is Surah Al-Fatiha, the opening of the book. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. This is the first verse. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Rabbil Alameen means the Lord of all universe, the Lord of all creatures. So this is the Lordship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then we have the names and attributes. Maliki Yawmiddin. Malik and Malik are attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, other attributes of Allah, which means the most merciful, the most beneficent. And then the third type, which is إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. It is you alone whom we worship, and it is you alone whom we seek support from. So they are in this sequence in the beginning of Quran, and the same sequence will repeat in the last surah of Quran. قل أعوذ برب الناس. Again, رب الناس, Lordship first. ملك الناس, again, attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ownership. إله الناس, the one who deserves to be worshipped, the God of mankind, the one whom should be who the mankind should worship only. So these three types are mentioned in the beginning of the Book of Allah and the end of the Book of Allah. Some scholars said this is for a very beautiful wisdom. Why did Allah start with His book with those three kinds of Tawheed and end His book with those three kinds of Tawheed? They said starting means you must start with Tawheed first. You cannot go and, for example, say, I want to make jihad, to make fasting, I like prayers, I do this, I do that. No, first you have to establish the Tawheed, the three types, all of them. Four types actually, if we consider the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the existence of Allah, as I said, is already established. So this is why Allah started with this chapter, which emphasizes the three types of Tawheed. Why did He end His book with those three types? Because this is also a hint that you should end your life as a Muslim, as a monotheist, as someone who declares his worship for Allah alone. Otherwise, you have lost everything. If you die otherwise, you have lost everything. You have nothing in the hereafter. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the other surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, اتقوا الله ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Don't die except as in the state of Islam. submission to Allah, monotheism, worshipping Allah alone. So this is very important that we notice why Allah started His book with this and why He ended His book with that. And also in Quran, the best chapter in Quran is this opening of Quran. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned this in a true hadith. Also the best verse in Quran, because this opening is 7 verses, but the best verse alone in Quran is the verse which is called Ayatul Kursi, the chair of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it includes nothing in it but the faith in Allah and in Allah's throne and chair. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions those types, so no one has the right to declare a 4th type or a 5th type or a 6th type or a 7th type. Some innovators nowadays claim that we have Tawheed of politics, Tawheed of economics, Tawheed of social sciences, Tawheed of ice cream making. أعوذ بالله. This is playing with the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not only playing with the religion of Allah, it's playing with the foundation of the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also, you cannot pick up some action in Islam, no matter how important it is, and declare it as a kind of Tawheed, because it's already part of Tawheed. All good actions are branches of Tawheed, as Allah have mentioned in Quran about the example of La ilaha illallah is like a tree where its foundation deep in the ground and its branches reach heavens. So those branches are the actions in Islam. Prayer is a branch, fasting is a branch, and jihad is a branch, and zakat is a branch, and so on. And being good to the parents is a branch. Having good morals is a branch. These are branches of Islam. These are branches of La ilaha illallah. Because La ilaha illallah is not simply or merely a word. No. It's a testification which requires action. Requires action. We don't say the actions are fruits of faith. Because when you say fruits, this could mean that they are not obligatory. No. The actions in Islam, if they are obligatory, then they cannot be called fruits. They are part of faith itself. And there is no Islam without action. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala said, anyone who says that Islam can be without actions is kafir, is not Muslim. So if someone comes to you and tells you that Islam is easy, alhamdulillah, and it's only in the heart and you don't have to do anything. If you do, Allah will forgive you. So don't do any action. Do whatever you like. Whatever haram thing you can do it, no problem, because Allah is most forgiving, most merciful. You don't have to abide by anything. Just say by your tongue, just have a belief in heart. Anyone who says this, he is not a Muslim. He is not a Muslim. And therefore, we have to know that the emphasis on Tawheed, to start our life with it, to know Tawheed and act upon it, and not to break it in any way, not to nullify it in any way, such as those who supplicate to the so-called saints. This is nullifying the faith. This is going out of Islam. As soon as you commit one of those great acts of associating partners with Allah, you are out of Islam. Now, also there are some people, even though some of them are Sunnis and they follow the Sunnah, but they have made the wrong decision, the wrong thinking. saying that Hakimiyya is the fourth type of Tawheed. This is not true, because Hakimiyya falls in those three types that we mentioned: lordship, names and attributes, and the unity of worship. They fall under each one of those three. And if you want to emphasize it, you emphasize it by showing that it falls under all of those three aspects of Tawheed. What more emphasis is better than this? The great Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia before Sheikh bin Baz was Abdullah ibn Humayd, rahimahullah ta'ala. He had a booklet about Tawheed, and he mentioned that the three types of Tawheed, that is the lordship, the names and attributes, the worship, they are supported by the Book of Allah, the Sunnah of the Messenger, and the consensus of the scholars. That's why when his successor Sheikh bin Baz came and became the Grand Mufti, when they asked him about the category called Tawheed al-Hakimiyya, he said, this is an innovation. This has no basis in the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Similarly, Al-Allama al-Mufassir Muhammad al-Amin al-Shanqiti rahimahullah, and similarly Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah, when he was asked about students of Kulliyat Sharia from University of Kuwait, he said, anyone who says this is bringing an innovation. Therefore, the Muslims have to be clear on this.